Okay, so I've done a lower resolution version of it. So now we have quite a low res. So you can see it's only 121 by something. So super fast. So now this whole thing should also be a lot faster. So then we have a couple of points here. So let's have a look. 2 million points. Good. All right, so let's go into our flip. And so this is gonna time shift to frame 50. So how many points do we have? We have 3 million. All right. So, oh yeah, let's turn on our simulation again. All right, so that works. So we need to merge in our collision objects that we made before, because of course we don't really have those right now. So let's let's go into our pyro explosion. Let's take this one. So this was our landscape. Just call this one, just give it a name as well. Okay, so we can just let's copy that one. Let's put it in here. Let's plug this. So let's remove the ground plane and just keep the, let's turn off our flip object for now. All right, so landscape. We also need our rocks in this case. And we already made our rock collision in our landscape thing here, because of course we did that to just for the rigid bodies. So I'm just gonna copy and paste this thing, call this rocks. And let's merge this in. Okay, so let's go in there. Oh, that's not the, so let me have a look. Where did we do that? Oh, sorry, we did it over here. Okay, so that's going to be this one. This one. So remember, like if we just check our second view, those are our rocks, and this is the VDB from our rocks. So we just go over here. So let's recreate. We could call this geo. Maybe better idea. Put the VDB in there. Okay, then we have our collision objects. So that's good. Now let's add more flip objects. So you can see the flip solver, the box is not big enough. Let's make it big enough so we know that it can actually fit the entire circle. All right. So yeah, this thing already has the downsample, so that's good. All right, so let's press play. Let's see what this does. This is going to be a little bit slow. No, it's actually not so bad. Okay, so you can see we have an issue down here with the viscosity. At least I think it probably has to do with the viscosity. So we probably need to change some of our settings for that. But in general, I mean, it is working. We can see that the thing itself is working. We just need to go into back into our power to flip. And let's reconfigure this viscosity we have. Let's disable this and let's just override it with a static value to see what we will get if we just give it a static value. Let's just copy this part. And see if that fixes the issue. So let's press play. So it doesn't. Right. So there's a couple of other things that we might check. So I had the same issue in my my original scene. Just need to figure out again what was the exact issue with that. Okay, so it's not the viscosity. What I need to do is need to make the minimum viscosity 0. I think these ones are probably then going to be 0. You can see now this does work. I guess because of the entire, like the way this is set up, they just turn sort of thick way too quickly. So let's just keep them at a minimum of 0. So this does work. So I guess let's just cache that out, see what it looks like. And then we can make some tweaks to that setup. So I'm just going to go over here. So that thing loads the geometry. So let's just say flip sim. Let's do frame 50 to 120 for now. We don't need to do the entire sequence yet. Just going to save it and I'm going to be back. So it finished simulating. It was pretty fast. Let's make a sort of a visualizer for this thing so we can have a look at it a little bit more easily. Let's just do color. Let's put it to, let's just make a visualizer. This is going to be better in this case. Make a visualize. Let's do a visualizer for the velocity. We're going to say ramped attribute. Set using min max, I think. Let's say treat as scalar. Okay, so clamp to, okay, treat as scalar. That's the length of the velocity. And then let's do it like this. And then max. Okay, now we have some sort of a visualizer going. This is a little bit easier to look at. All right, let's try flipbook. We to our camera. Looks like there's some weird collision thing going on there. So I kind of feel like maybe we just have a look in the flip simulation. Let's show other objects. Let's hide our pyro explosion. Let's that's that thing. Okay. Right. So let's do flipbook. See what that looks like. I'm not sure. I'm not sure I'm happy with this, but let's just check what it looks like. So 50 to 120. Okay, so this stacking thing there looks quite strange. Okay, I need to figure out what's up with that. Okay, I'm gonna run one without any viscosity, see if that gets rid of it, else it might be one of the collision geometries, and then we need to check into that. So I'm just gonna go on my flip sim, and I'm gonna turn off viscosity, run another sim, see what it does. But it's almost finished caching. But you can already see that, like if you're doing this in a scene, it already complicates a lot of things. from your initial effect. That's why you always try to do these things first in a clean environment before you bring them into your scene, because as you saw before, we had an effect that worked perfectly. Now we're bringing it into our scene, and now we're running into some issues. So that's why you always try to do something in your R&D scene first. Okay, so let's have a look. And I always just try to leave stuff like this in, because then you're also going to learn from why these things are problematic or can be problematic. Okay, so looks like this works. Let's do a flipbook for this. I'm just probably gonna change my my visualizer a little bit, so something like that. Probably just gonna make this one just like lighter blue, which is nicer to look at. Okay, I'm gonna do another flipbook. And this is also always where you mainly spend a lot of time doing scenes. Just tweaking and like waiting and tweaking more and then waiting more. Yeah, okay, so this works. A couple of things that we're probably gonna want to try to change. So let me just have a look in my original scene. I think I changed the particle scale as well on my flip solver a little bit. Just see if that's actually the case. Oh no, I did keep the particle radius the same. But I do feel like maybe we should change the particle radius a little bit down in this case, because it's a little bit thick. And I kind of feel that our environment is not big enough for this explosion that we created. It's also something I ran into when I did my original. So let's just address that. I mean, we can keep working with this, but clearly this splash is going to be a lot bigger. So let's just make our environment a lot bigger. We need to redo a couple of things, but let's just do that. Then at least we have something nice when we finish.